People are really sick and tired with the sort of raw deal that they've been getting by being a digital citizen. Yes, they know they get a kind of email and the ability to like tweet and like post on Facebook, but they know that a very small handful of players like walking away with all the value and all the control.
We're living in this system where we have no idea where our data is going and it's being tracked by a million entities all the time. You don't know what's going on.
Companies have really spent the last 20 years coming on this journey from this is kind of exhaust that we happen to store in a database to this is one of the most valuable assets I possess. And I think consumers are beginning to do the same.
Everyone's data is a signature of their identity, and that's why that's valuable.
As our digital lives are not separate from our lives, we have to start making the argument that we are owed at least something for how people, codify and monetize our lives.
The promise of data unions to better align people's control and monetization of data is the opportunity today. It's a $1 trillion opportunity as we shift from Web 2 to Web 3.
So the biggest problem is that the technology is 25 years old. Cookies have been around since the dawn of the internet, and it needs to change.
A cookie is a small piece of software that is embedded on a website that you may access that essentially tracks you over the course of not only your time on that website, but also browsing to come. You've not really consented to it, and if you were told what was happening, you'd be super surprised.
It does not empower the end user the way that it needs to. A new technology needs to take over.
So a data union, in a general and non-fully technical sense, is an organization in which people, individuals, and communities can pool their data and use that pooled data as leverage for services or possibly for payment.
So the idea is that data by itself doesn't hold much value. So if I would just monetize my own data, it probably wouldn't even be worth a couple of cents. But if we put our data together and crowdsource the data, this is exactly how that data can generate value.
I think that data unions are like a power structure that makes sense. They put the power over information in a larger number of hands in a more sort of distributed power architecture that is more accountable.
You as a user have a choice, and you can decide what you want to monetize and what you don't want to monetize.
It's fixing a lot of the Web 2 challenges we see today for the Web 3 world. Anytime you can better align consumers with data and buyers of data, that's a win-win-win solution.
We're talking about better data here. This is a case of ethics really driving efficacy. Because the consumer is in the loop here, I believe that you can generally publish, even though it's anonymized, more granular data because they're aware of what you're gathering from them.
The opportunity is just so big. One of the aspects is to crowdsource data sets which have not been accessible beforehand.
Banking data, mobility data, what's coming off your car, maybe your fitness and your wellness and things like that. And I think that represents a more full picture of a consumer that we've never really had before.
I think the data union opportunity is as big as the entire internet.
We're at the very beginnings of the data union movement, and that's what makes it so exciting. We're supporting them as pool. That is our job, support data unions to grow.
There's a lot of things in our favor, so I think that the message is really resonating on both sides. I think people wanting to be more active with their data and seeing this potential, but also on the brand side, seeing that this is skating where the puck is going, this is where the future is.
We argue for people's agency in every other situation of rights.
We're recognizing that our data is powerful at the same time as we're recognizing that power isn't accruing to us, to people.
Data unions are a very new and exciting vehicle to take back that ownership over the data and get a piece of the cake, so to say.